The man was just having a meal, but he was shocked to discover on his father's barbecue stand there was actually a contract worth hundreds of billions of dollars. He hurried to ask his father to verify the authenticity of the contract. However, his father calmly told him the contract was forged by a friend and even asked his son to get rid of the contract. The man didn't have any doubts after hearing this, because ever since he was little, he and his father had been making money by running a street stall. It was impossible for them to have a contract worth billions. Little did he know, the contract in his hand was real, and the man's father was actually the world's richest man worth trillions. The reason he pretended to have no money was because he believed in the idea of raising his son in poverty. He wanted to use this to shape his son's character and raise him to be a qualified heir. But what the man didn't expect was, although his son managed to get into a master's program by his own ability, he couldn't find a proper job and could only deliver food every day. The man, unaware of the truth, worked hard every day just to give his father a better life. In order to buy his girlfriend an expensive gift for her birthday, he was introduced to a high-paying job by a friend, but when he arrived at the interview location, he discovered it was his stepsister, Lisa. The man wanted to leave, but for the sake of his girlfriend's birthday gift, he still agreed to help Lisa with the work. But what he didn't expect was it was all actually a setup. They deliberately slandered him for betraying his girlfriend. The purpose was to break them up, because his girlfriend was Laura, a rich family's daughter. They thought with his background, he wasn't worthy of being Laura's boyfriend. When the man realized this, he immediately wanted to explain to his girlfriend, but found his car had already been smashed. The man felt a wave of pain in his heart. On the day before his girlfriend's birthday, while delivering food, he received another message from his girlfriend, hoping he could come to her birthday party. When the man saw it, he instantly became happy. But the next second, he got anxious about what gift to give. So after getting off work, he went to a convenience store to pick out a gift for Laura. Looking at the crystal ball worth less than $50 in his hand, the man couldn't help but start worrying. But this was already the best gift he could afford. Meanwhile, his father at the stall looked at the contract handed to him by his assistant and told him with disdain, "From now on, matters like this should be handled by the assistant himself." When he received Laura's birthday invitation, the father worried about being recognized by his son, so he decided not to attend and only ordered the assistant to send a gift. At that moment, a subordinate rushed to report to them the news that the man had returned. The tycoon quickly dismissed all his subordinates. In the chaos, the assistant accidentally left the contract and the invitation, all at the stall, watching the departing car. The man was puzzled, but didn't suspect anything. But when he saw the contract at the stall, he was deeply shocked. After hearing his father say it was fake, he gradually let go of his doubts. But to his surprise, the contract in his hand not only had a signature, but also the official seal of the first consortium. Thinking of his girlfriend whose birthday was coming up, he decided to bring the contract with him to the party. Meanwhile, Laura was asking the servant about delivering the invitation to the man, but little did she know, her mother had taken it away. The reason her mother did this was because she disdained the man's family background, thinking he wasn't worthy of her daughter. She wanted the man to see the gap between them and hoped he would completely give up on her daughter, and this birthday party was actually a matchmaking banquet she arranged for her daughter. She wanted to use the value of the gifts to choose a suitable husband for her daughter. The next day, the man arrived at the party venue, but was stopped outside by security because he had no invitation. Just when the man didn't know what to do, James, the rich young man who had always pursued his girlfriend, also showed up there. He not only mocked the man's background but also flaunted his own premium invitation, trying to make the man give up. Looking at the arrogant people in front of him, the man, in anger, immediately took out the invitation from the contract, wanting to use it to get inside. But the next second, the invitation in his hand was snatched by Lisa. She even mocked that he couldn't even forge it properly, claiming directly that party invitations were never yellow. Little did she know, the one in the man's hand was actually a top VIP invitation. Seeing this, he was about to take back the invitation, but Lisa handed it to the security for verification, just when the man thought he would definitely be punished. The security guard looked at the invitation in shock, and then informed his team to immediately gather in the first floor hall, hearing them talk about serious consequences. The man couldn't help but feel afraid. Just as he was about to leave, several bodyguards carried a chair and stopped in front of them. James looked at the chair in confusion, not understanding what they were going to do. Lisa thought it was to welcome James and told him to sit on it first, but the security guards stopped him, saying directly that he was not qualified to sit on it. Just as everyone was confused, they saw all the security guards bow and invite the man to sit on it. Everyone instantly widened their eyes in shock, unable to believe that all of this was real. When the man sat on the chair, he finally realized the forged invitation from his father was actually a top VIP one. Then, he let the security carry him into the banquet hall. Meanwhile, James behind him thought it was a stolen invitation and immediately tried to enter the banquet hall to expose the man's true identity.